What's up, agents? Zero here. Recently I showed you guys my brand new working garage door inside of my lab. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to build one yourself. Now this is of course using command blocks, and in front of me I have myself two of these already set up. This garage door is already set up to go ahead and run, and this one there are no commands inside of the command blocks because I want to go ahead and show you guys how to set this up yourself. So let me go ahead and show you guys how this works. So if I go ahead and press this button, the garage door is going to open up, and as you can tell it's now up on the top. If we go ahead and press this button again, as you can tell it looks like it's actually legitimately closing by itself, and it does the exact same thing when it is opening up. So that's actually a really nice detail, that it actually looks like it is moving. Now one thing I do want to go ahead and show you guys is that you actually need all the blocks in your garage door to be the exact same type of block, and this is why. So if I go ahead and press this button, as you can tell the blocks that are up and top were originally down the bottom, and that's actually not where they were supposed to be. So you do actually need to go ahead and keep that in mind. All of the blocks that you're going to be using inside of your garage door need to be the same type of block. So just a little bit of forwarding so that you guys know exactly what you're doing. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with actually building the garage door itself. So as you can tell, I have this garage door already built, and what you need to do is set up a button to a T flip-flop. This is one of the most basic T flip-flop designs that you can have. This is known as a hopper dropper T flip-flop, and the way it works is if I press this button, as you can tell that comparator turned off, which means there's no redstone signal. If I go ahead and press it again, now the comparator turns on, which means there is a redstone signal. It's actually a fairly simple design, and you actually need an item inside of this system in order for things to work. And then this comparator is running into a block which has a redstone torch off the side, and then there are two repeaters off like this which run into blocks in a line like this, and then off to the sides of these blocks are all command blocks. So you can easily hide all these command blocks without too much problem. All this redstone you can easily hide. I just wanted to have this above ground so that you guys can see exactly what it takes to go ahead and put this together. So in order to get things started, let's go ahead and clear out our door, and the first thing we want to go ahead and do is get some coordinates. We're going to need 3 sets of coordinates in order to go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and come over to this side right here, and as you can tell the coordinate up in the top left is -17, 4, and 8. So one thing I do want to go ahead and mention to you guys that depending on where you guys are building this in your world, your coordinates are going to be different from mine. So just make sure to keep that in mind. Your coordinates are definitely going to be different from what I'm using, but just use this as a rule of thumb. So next you want to go ahead and get this coordinate right here. So this is -14, 4, and 8. Alright. So now what you want to do is you want to get one last coordinate. So how you go ahead and do this is you go up here and you go ahead and stand right here. And this is the last coordinate that we're going to end up needing. So this is -17, 8, and 9. So again, make sure you have all 3 of those coordinates written down. So now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and go into your first set of command blocks, and you want to go in here and go ahead and start typing in here. So you want to put in clone, and then what you want to go ahead and do is put in your numbers, and trying to get to my number row. There we go. Alright, so now what you want to go ahead and do is put in your coordinates. So you have -17, and then you have 4, 8, and then you were typing your second coordinate, -14, 4, and 8, and last but not least you need to put in your last coordinate. So -17 and 8 and 9. Now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and type in replace, and you want to type in move. And there you go. You've got your entire set of coordinates in for your first set of coordinates. So let's go ahead and test this. And if we go ahead and place these right here, if we go ahead and press this button right here, as you can tell, these blocks got moved from the bottom all the way up to the top, which is exactly what to have happen. So we actually have that already set up. So now what you want to do is do the exact same thing over again, but you want to move your y coordinate up one. So previously we had -17, 4, 8. So now we are at -17, 5, 8. So you just repeat the process. And the next time what you want to do is you want to come out one extra block. So last time our last coordinate was -17, 8, 9. Now it's -17, 8, and 10. And you just completely repeat this process as many times as your garage door is tall. So our garage door is 4 blocks tall. So we're starting at a y coordinate of 4. Going up, we're going to reach a y coordinate of 5. And then you're going to go 6 right here, and then 7. So keep that in mind. And again, as I mentioned before, your coordinates are going to be different from mine. And then your last set of coordinates is basically going to be this. So we have a z coordinate of 9, 10, 11, 12. So repeat that over and over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and input the remainder of the first set of command blocks, and then I will be right back. This shouldn't take too long at all. Okay, so I have all the coordinates put in all these command blocks, and just for demonstration purposes, let me go ahead and open these up. So we have -17, 4, 8, -14, 4, 8, and -17, 8, 9. And if we go ahead and move one over, now the y coordinate for the first two is 5, and the z coordinate is 10, and it just keeps going up based on what you're doing. And so let's go ahead and test this to make sure this is actually working correctly. As you can tell, our garage door is now open. Now what we want to do is go ahead and close our garage door. And basically, we're doing the exact same thing over again, just in reverse. So here's what you want to do. You want to come to this coordinate right here. So we're going to go ahead and write this coordinate down, but with a little bit of a stipulation. So we are at -17. Right now we are standing on a y coordinate of 9, and we want to go ahead and move that down to 8 because we are currently standing on. If we go down a block, so let me go ahead and demonstrate that really quickly. Put a block here and destroy this. This is where our coordinate actually is. So keep that in mind. And we are at a z coordinate of 12. Then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and come to this side. We're doing the exact same thing over again as you expect. So we're at -14, 9, and that means we're actually going to be at a y coordinate of 8, and we're still at 12. And the last thing you want to do is get the last coordinate. So what you want to do is you want to come to right here, and we're going to go ahead and grab this coordinate right here. So this is -17, 7, and 8. So we have all of our coordinates ready to go ahead and get started with the rest of the door. And I'm not going to show you guys the entire process, but I will at least show you guys the first set of coordinates that we're going to go ahead and put in. It's basically the same as before, but I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a showing as to how it actually works. So we're going back in here. So now what we do is go ahead and put in clone, just like before, and we're going to go ahead and input -17, 8, and 12, and then we do this again with our second coordinate, -14, 8, and 12, and then last but not least, we're going to go ahead and put in our final coordinate. So -17, 7, and 8. And then what you want to do is put in place and move. And that should be everything all completely done. So we're going to go ahead and test this really quick. It's only going to move this first set of blocks, but we're going to at least see if this is actually working correctly. So if we press this button, as you can tell, it moved one sub blocks over. So we actually have this set up correctly. Now all we have left to do is go ahead and set up the remainder of the command blocks. Give me a moment while I go ahead and set this up. Okay, so I've got all the command blocks filled in. I'm not going to go through each of the command blocks like I did before because you guys get the general idea. But let's go ahead and test to make sure our door is actually working correctly. So if we press this button, this should open up just nicely. And if we go ahead and press the button again, it closes back up. So that is everything all completely done. And as I mentioned before, make sure all of your blocks are actually the exact same type of block. Otherwise, it does not look quite as good. So let me demonstrate one last time. And yeah, this is exactly what happens if the blocks are not all the same. So again, make sure all the blocks that you have inside your door are all the same type of block. Now, obviously, you can make this as big or as small as you want, but you are kind of limited to like how far away your command blocks can work, because there is a certain distance command blocks will work. So try to keep it to a minimum. I don't know what the minimum distance command blocks will work, but just keep it to somewhat of a minimum. Now there will be a word download in the description if you guys want to go ahead and check this out for yourself, but that's actually going to have to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. One more, make sure that subscribe button for future content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at AgentCPU0 to stay updated. This has been Juice News. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I will see you guys later.